Hello, welcome to the video Spring Boot logback rolling file with me Namamin from codejava.net. Through this video, you will learn how to use logback in a Spring Boot project. In details, you will be able to understand the Spring Boot's logging architecture and understand why we need to use logback. And you will learn how to use the fundamentals of logback in a Spring Boot project. How to use logback with rolling file via the Spring Boot configuration file, the application.properties, and how to use logback with rolling file via the logback configuration file, logback.xml. Rolling file meaning that the log files rotate daily or when size reaches the threshold. First, let's understand the logging architecture used by Spring Boot. For internal logging, Spring Boot uses the Commons logging library, Apache Commons logging, or Spring JCL. And for the public API, Spring Boot uses simple logging facade for Java, SLF for J, and provides the default configurations for Java UT logging, log4j2, and logback. And by default, logback is the default logging framework used by Spring Boot. And with Spring Boot, we can configure logging through the application.properties file, Spring Boot configuration file, or we can configure logging through the configuration file of a specific logging framework, logging.properties for Java UT logging, or log4j2.xml for log4j2, or logback.xml for logback logging framework. So why choosing logback? Logback is a successor to log4j, which is a very popular Java logging framework. Logback brings great improvements over log4j. It is faster and has smaller memory footprint than log4j. Logback implements simple logging facade for Java natively, so we can easily switching between different logging frameworks while using logback. Some notable features of logback are automatic reloading of configuration files, automatic removal of all log archives, and automatic compression of archived log files and filters. We can implement user-based logging, thread-based logging, and much more. In summary, logback is a better log4j. Now I'm going to show you how to use logback with rolling file feature via the Spring Boot configuration file application.properties. I have a Spring Boot project in Spring 2 Suite IDE here. You see a Spring Boot project, and now let's start this Spring Boot application. By default, Spring Boot uses logback, and you can see the log message is printed in the console view here. You can see, and by default the logging level is info. That means the logging levels info, warning, and error printed to the console view. This is a date, this is a time, log level, process ID, this is a separator, this is thread name, this is logger name or fully qualified class name, and this is a log message. To configure logback's rolling file feature for a Spring Boot project, we can specify the following properties in the Spring Boot configuration file application.properties: logging.file.path, logging file name, logging path file, logging.path.rolling file name, file max size, file max history, total size, cap. I will show you how to use these properties and explain shortly. So come back to our Spring Boot project and open the Spring Boot application.properties file here, application.properties. Now to specify the name of the logging file, we use this property logging.file.path. This is a path to store the log files. For example, logs directory in the project directory. And note that when using this property, we can specify only the directory, not the file name. The default file name is spring.log. Now save this file and Spring Boot application will restart automatically. Now let's check the project directory. This is a project directory, ShopmeAdmin, and you can see the logs directory got created here. And you can see the log file name is spring.log. Let's open this log file with Notepad++, and you can see the content of the log file. So with this property logging.file.path, you can specify only the log directory, not the file name. If you want to use your own log file name, you must specify the logging.file.name. Name here. We can't use both the properties logging.file.path and logging.file.name. Here I specify the log file name, ShopmeAdmin.log. Save. And because I'm using Spring Boot developer tool, so whenever I make changes to the application.properties file, it will automatically restart. And let's check the project directory, and you can see the log file ShopmeBackend.log got created here. And let's open this file using Notepad++. You can see this is the content of the log file ShopmeBackend.log here. So we can use either a logging.file.path or logging.file.name. We cannot use both these properties. When we want to use the default file name provided by Spring Boot, we use this logging.file.path. Or when we want to use our own logging file name, we must to use this property logging.file.name. And as you can see, the log format or log pattern in the log file is the same as the log format in the console view. Here you can see date, time, log level, process ID, thread, global name, message, and in the log file it is the same log format or log pattern. In case we want to use our own log format, we can configure using this property logging.pattern.file to configure the log format used in the log files. Let me show you how to customize the log format. But I will show you how to customize the log format, log pattern for the console view. First, logging.pattern.console here. We configure the log format printed in the console view. And with logback, we can use the following syntax or conversion words to display the logging fields. For example, %sign to display the date time, %thread to show the thread name, %level to show the log level, %logger to display the logger name, %msg to display the log message, and %n to include the new line character. Now let's use this log pattern. %d to display the date time, and then %thread to show the thread name, and then %level to display the logging level, and then logger to show the logger name, and then the log message, and then the new line character. Save. And you see in the console view, it is updated to use a new log format. You can see, and you can notice that the logging messages are not colored. Now let's format the log message to have a better readability, more readable. But you see in the log file, it is still use the default log format, different than in the console view, right? Now I change this property to logging.pattern.file. So we use this log format for the log file. But now I want to show you. Hover the mouse over this property, and you can see. And you can see the default log format used by Spring Boot here, default. Here are some syntax to format the log format to have more readability. We use this left justification flag minus, and then the a number to specify the minimum field width. If the width of the field is less than the minimum field width, then space will be added to the field. And for the logger name, we can specify this number. If the logger name will longer than 40 characters, it will be abbreviated. Now let's update our log format for the console. You see the date, time, thread name inside bracket. Log level, we use the left justification flag -5, and logger 40. Logger name longer than 40 characters will be abbreviated, and the new line just right after the message and colon to separate between the logger name and the actual log message. Okay, let's save and see it is updated in the console view. You can see thread name in brackets, info log level now left justify, and logger name, and you can see logger name is abbreviated if it's longer than 40 characters. And now we want to justify the logger name to see more readable log message to the right here. So we can use the left justification flag. For example, if the logger name longer than 40 character, we use space for padding. Now let's update, and you can see it looks better, right? I think we should use 50 characters. You see, now the log format looks better with a justification to allows us to see the log easily. You can see. So that's how to customize the log format. Now let's update this property for logging.pattern.file to use this uh, log format for the log file. You can see currently this log file still uses the default log format provided by Spring Boot. Now let's save. And now in the console view, uses the default log format with coloring. And now let's see in the log file. And you can see in the log file now it is using the new log format. You can see different than the previous log format. So that's how to configure the log pattern log format for the logging file. Now we configure the rolling file name using this property logging.pattern.rolling file name to specify our custom rolling file name. Logging.file, you can see pattern.rolling file name here, and the default used by Spring Boot here, log file, and date, and then the number of the log file, gg. You can specify our own rolling file name. ShopmeAdmin dash, and then by the date format is year, for number of year, dash, and two numbers of month, dash, and two number of day, and then the number of the log file, and then the extension .log. Save. We got a message from logback here, no context given for time-based rolling policy. So we need to specify this property max size. The max log file size default is 10 megabytes. For testing purpose, we specify a smaller max size. Logging dot file. Sorry. Oh, it's okay. So logging dot file dot max size, for example, 2 kilobytes. And when we use this property rolling file name, we must not use this log file name. So I'll comment this line. Now the message from logback is gone. This property meaning that when the size of the log file exceeds 2 kilobytes, then another log file will be created, roll over or rotate. Now let's stop the application to start again to have more log. Start again. I have a mistake here. I must use %d for the date format. Save. Change this pattern. We comment this pattern rolling file name. Use only pattern for file marks, file size. I think we must also specify the log file name, log rolling file name. Okay, save. Okay, it's working now, and you can see the row over log files with the number at the end, 0 and 1 here, when the size of the file exceeds 2 kilobytes, and new file will be created. And now let's access our this Spring Boot application. http localhost 8080 ShopmeAdmin. Login. Okay, I have logged in successfully. Let's do something for the application to print more log messages. Okay, let's stop the application. And now let's write some log messages in the Java code. For example, now I write log message here. So to use logback, we declare a logger private static find logger, because logback implements srf4j natively, so we declare a logger from this interface, logger or.srf4j, logger equal logger factory, also from srf4j, and read the logger name, which typically is a class name here, dot class. The logger must be static and final, so there's only one instance of the logger across the instances of the class. And now in the method we write code to write some log messages. Logger, the lowest log level is chase. Entering load user by username method, and then debug logger, debug authenticating user email with email. And here, when the user is not found, we log an error, logger.error, authentication failed. And before returning the Shopme user details, we logger info user authenticated successfully. That's some examples how to write log messages using logback. By default, logback implements srf4j, simple logging first for Java. So we use a logger and logger factory from this package. Okay, save the changes and the application we restart start the application. And now we see a new log file got created here with the number 2 and number 3 at the end here. That means the log file is rotating when the size exceeds the number we configure here, max size 2 kilobytes. Next, we can use the property logging.file.max.history to specify how long the log files will be kept. By default, log files older than 7 days will be removed, will be deleted. We can specify that property here. Logging.file.max dash history. The default value is 7 days. As you can see here, for 7. We can specify another number if we wish, for example, 2 days. But we cannot test this property. Let's show you how to use this property. And you can see the new log file was created number 4 here. And we can use the property logging.file.total size cap total size cap to specify the maximum total size of the log files need to be kept. If the total size of all the log files exceed this number, the all log files will be deleted. Now let me show you how to use this property. In this directory, in this log file, we have total size is about 45 kilobytes. And now I specify the total cap size is only a smaller number. Total size cap equal 20 kilobytes. So the old log files will be deleted. Now let's see. Save this change. If it doesn't work when the application starts, we need to specify the property clean history on start. So when the application starts, it will clean the old log files. Either the log files older than 7 days or the total size of the log file exceed this number, total size cap. Logging dot file dot clean history on start equal true. Now save the changes. And now you can see the total size of the log file here. It never exceeds 20 kilobytes. You can see 19 kilobytes, and it's update. You can see the date here. The file with number 0 update latest 6 hour 55 minutes here. So it overrides the our log files to cap the total cap size less than the number we specify here. So that's how to configure rolling log files with logback in the Spring Boot project via the application.properties file, Spring Boot configuration file with this property. And next, I will show you how to use rolling file fish with logback via the logback configuration file logback.xml. So let's stop this application and delete all the properties in this Spring Boot configuration file. And to use logback configuration file, we need to create logback XML file under the resources directory here. So create a new XML file here. XML file. Next, the name of this file is logback.xml. Finish. And here we specify the configuration for logback here. When we use the logback configuration file, it will override all the settings we specify in the application.properties file. Now specify the root element is configuration, and the first appender we need to use is for the console appender. Name is std out for the console view. Class is ch ghost logback dot call dot console appender. If you were familiar with log4j, you will see the configuration file of logback is similar. And inside this appender, we specify the log format or layout. Class is gs ghost dot logback dot classic dot pattern layout. And then we specify the pattern, which is date and time, and thread name, and log level, and logger name, and log message, and new line character. And we specify the root logger here. Root with the appender is std out, and we specify the log level for the root logger is info, so only info, warning, and error message are printed in the console view. Last, wrap the datetime in parentheses to know that the logback configuration file is actually used. Okay, save the changes and now restart the application. We got an error here. We wrap the date in bracket. Let's see what is the error. Sorry, this should be better. Okay, now let's start. What are missing here? Appender, name, layout, pattern, layout, appender. Sorry, this should be appender ref with a dash. Ref, okay. Start. Okay, it works now. You can see in the console view. The date and time is inside practice here. That means logback is configuration file is actually used, and we'll update this log pattern to display a more readable log message is -5 -60 longer name longer than 60 characters will be abbreviated and separate between lower name and log message is okay. Save the changes. And now in the console view, the log message are updated with the new log format and more readable. You see, you can color the log level using this syntax highlight. Highlight the log level. Save the change, and you can see now the log level is highlighted with color. Okay, that's for configuration for the console log appender. And now I'm going to show you how to specify appenders for rolling file feature. So we specify another appender here. Which name is a rolling file, and the class name is ch.cause.logback.rolling file appender, and we specify the log file name. For example, ShopmeAdmin backend, the default log file name ShopmeAdmin-backend.log, and we specify the log pattern. In logback we use encoder. The class of the encoder is ch.logback.classic.encoder.pattern layout encoder, and then for the pattern we can copy the log pattern from the console appender here, and then we need to specify the rolling policy. And the class for this rolling policy is gs.call.rolling.time-based rolling policy. We use time-based rolling policy. That means generally the log files will be rotated daily, or when the size reach a threshold. And here in this rolling policy, we specify the file name path here. File name path is shopme dash backend dash date and phone number of year dash two numbers of month dash two numbers of day, and then the file number %i and extension log. And then we can specify the properties here. The properties here. This property in this XML logback.xml file. For example, we want to specify the max size, max file size. We need to specify this time-based file naming and triggering policy. So you can see using logback configuration file is difficult. Then configure the logging rolling file in application.properties file. Class is cs.code.logback.call.rolling.size and time based FNATP. And here we specify the mass file size here, for example 3 kilobytes. And then we can also specify other properties. Max history, the number of days the old log files will be deleted 10 days. For example, all log files older than 10 days will be deleted. And we can also specify total size cap, for example 30 kilobytes. The total size of the log files exceeds this number will be deleted. All log files will be deleted or roll over. And we also specify this property clean history on start to let logback to clean the old log files when start up. That's it to configure the rolling file with logback configuration file. In the root logger, we need to specify the abandon. Ref is a rolling file. Okay, save the change, and it is restarting. And you can see the new log file created here. Okay, for I will delete all this log file for clearly understand. Stop the application first. Okay, delete all the log files. And now let's start the application. And you can see the log files rotated here. we have two log files with each is less than 3 kilobytes, total 4 kilobytes. You can see. And let's see the latest log file. Open with Notepad++. Here we go. We have this special character because we specify the color in the pattern here. So we remove this highlight. Okay. And now it creates the second file. You can see now it is normal in the log file here. So that you have learned how to use logback in the Spring Boot project for rolling file features for both configurations in application.properties file and in logback configuration file. I hope you will find this video helpful. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Thank you.